Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. Just want to, I know what this is obviously for, and you know what it's for, so we'll just go right into it. But I do want to thank President Gable, Mark Coyle, Board of Regents, our entire administration, just for believing in the vision we have for our football program, academically, athletically, socially, and spiritually, on and off the field, and for them to be able to have a lot of faith in us as a staff and as a program to continue to be here a very long time, and to execute what we talked about with the cultural sustainability and continue to put that in place as we keep going forward. So just incredibly humbled and grateful for the opportunity to be the head football coach here at the University of Minnesota. And as I said from the start, love being here. And when you have an opportunity to do that, you sign it. So with that said, we'll open up for questions.
Why was it important to get this contract extension done now?
That's a great question, because I think there is no right answer to contract extensions or new contracts or waiting. Everybody's priorities and everybody's decisions are different, and why they make those decisions they make. We talk to our players all the time about external versus internal, and we hold our players to an incredibly high level of external expectations, keeping them at a minimum, and external noise at a minimum, and raising this internal noise. And I don't think I'm any different. And so, as things start to come about, especially when you want to be somewhere, you make that happen and eliminate the external noise, because that can be a distraction for your players as well. And I don't want to be that distraction. It's part of doing it right now. And even this is a little, too much for me in the middle, as we keep going forward and game planning. So I'm glad we're doing this, and glad I can answer all your questions, and we'll go right back to game planning. So we were just in a meeting, and I'll go right back in there. So, but that's why. And when you know where you want to be, I don't think that makes it very hard. And you can play it out and do all those things, but I don't think that's necessary when you already know where you want to be. And I've said that to Mark numerous times over the years, and just appreciate him and his commitment to our program.
PJ, where do you see this program in 7 years when the contract is up?
I can't say I won't have less hair. I don't know if I can do that. I think we're as we take in season, right? We take one game championship seasons, and we're going to take one day at a time and continue to move forward. But the expectation constantly goes up, and the price goes up every single day. Academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, serving and giving, our academics, the way we run our program, the way our players, represent the University of Minnesota and this awesome state. So we're just going to continue to keep changing our best and do what we're doing, but doing it at a better level. And, there's going to be, when you look at people who have been at places a very long time, and you take out maybe, the Alabamas of the world, you're going to have some really great years and really special years. And we plan on having an awful lot of those. And there's going to be some times where, it didn't go your way here and there. But that's part of the sustainability of having a culture there for a long period of time. And that's what I'm really interested in doing. And I absolutely love the state of Minnesota. My wife loves living here. Our kids love being here. And it's just it's a really special place. It's home to us, and I meant that. That was my statement. That wasn't somebody else's statement. This is home for us. And as you're going back through the talks, even with your family, this is the big thing with Heather is we get to make a life here, not just make a living. And I think that's very difficult to find in our profession. And it makes me smile when I say that, because I appreciate all the Minnesotans opening their arms to us as a family. And I get the business of winning and doing all that stuff, but it's an unbelievable place to live and make a life. And rarely do you get that in our profession. So when somebody brings that forward to you and you value the life part of it, you hold on tight to it and never let it go. And, I think there's so much speculation of coaches leaving, or he's going to go, or he's going to do this. And that I've said that from day one of saying we're not going anywhere, but this just keeps proving that. And I'm just so thankful and honored to be here. Heather's thankful and honored for the things that we have here and the people we've met here. And everybody's been so open to us. But she's involved in a lot of things. She's involved in a lot of philanthropy. She's on a few boards, and she's a part of this community, just like our staff. And it's very difficult to find, like I said before. And that's what makes Minnesota so special to me, hopefully all of our staff and our players as we continue to make this what we said we're going to make it.
PJ, what's on that list of why it makes it so nice to live here? And what are some of the things that you didn't know about the university, the culture, the program, the state that you didn't know, when you came?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really. This is a true story. You know this. I mean, I didn't really know much about this place when I got here. You just kind of, you pray on it, and then you show up and just go to work, right? But what I love is, I'm not sure if this is going to take you by surprise, but I don't like to be bored, right? So I love everything, right? I love going to the city. I love going into the Twin Cities, watching a show, going to a professional sports game. I love being able to then drive out 30 minutes west and be on a lake somewhere and feel like you're in the middle of nowhere with bald eagles flying over your head. You can have all of that right here. And then you have one of the best, most prestigious Big Ten institutions across the Mississippi River from one of the best cities in America. The resources here, the medical field here, the activities here, the art here, the sports here, that's very difficult to find in a college town. And for all the things that people say that we're not, I think we are, and I think that's our strength. And I said that from the day one when we got here, that it's so unique, it's so different than most places that when you have that, I like that unique part. I like that different part. And like I said, I don't like to be bored. And there's always something to do here in the Twin Cities. The seasons are always changing. And what I love about Minnesotans is they embrace everything. A lot of people say, well, I love Minnesota. I'd love it 8 months out of the year. And then the winter, Minnesotans love their winter, right? I've seen it on our lake. I mean, it's like everybody moves from their house onto the lake in the middle of winter. But everybody's just really kind of brought us in and made us. You're not just the coach. I mean, you're a member of the state, member of the Twin City area, and you're a Minnesotan. And I take a lot of pride in that. Heather takes a lot of pride in that, and I know our family does too.
PJ, you talk about the importance of people in your organization. It looks like there's a bump of 150,000 for assistant coaches. Where did that come about, and how important is that to this deal?
Yeah, I'm not sure on the actual numbers on that, the part that you have. I think there's a little bit more than that, but it's, this is all about all of us. This isn't just about a head football coach getting a contract. Anytime you see an extension or a new contract from a head coach, it's a direct byproduct, right, of the people inside the organization. He just gets to be able to represent them, right, and be able to make the final decisions and lead people through all of that and hopefully make all their dreams come true, whether that's the players or whether that's our recruiting staff, whether it's our full-time coaching staff, operations staff, our GAs, our quality control members. It's everybody. And I think that's why it's so important. And what Mark has done since I've been here is almost every single year that pool's continued to go up and continued to take care of the people inside our organization. And, comparisons will always steal your joy. There's always going to be some less. There's always going to be some more. That's not what this is about. This is about what's right for Minnesota, what's right for us and as a program and an organization, what's fair for all of us to be able to continue to keep this program moving in the direction we want it to continue to move. And I'm just very thankful that, as head coaches get a lot of the credit and, when you win or lose, but when it's in these contracts and extensions, it's nice to know that, the coaches are going to be taken care of as well as other members of the staff.
How important is this for recruiting?
I think it's incredibly important. I think cultural sustainability, especially these days with the transfer portal, with NIL, with, high school recruiting, I think it's incredibly important. I think that, we get to continue to find the right fit for the University of Minnesota, the right fit for our row the boat culture and what we do and how we do it. And fit is everything to me. I know it's the same with Mark and President Gable. Fit is everything. And so I think anytime you get a chance to be able to show a young person that you're recruiting that, listen, I'm going to be here an awful long time. So whatever you're hearing, whatever people are recruiting against us with, whatever you're hearing outside or any speculations, that's why you do it now. You just put that to bed because you know where you want to be. And you want to continue to bring the right fit of the student athletes at the University of Minnesota. Bring them here.
Take one or two more for Coach. Or we can be done. Any more questions?
This is a first.
I got a question.
Joe, go ahead.
Joey, go ahead.
You go back to yourself as a little kid playing football. All of a sudden you look at the money that you're making doing this. Is it kind of mind-boggling once in a while that you are at where you're at?
It is. I mean, I don't know if there's a political answer for that, and I'm not here to give you one. It is. It's incredibly humbling. Come from a humble background, and money does not make you happy. I will say that. Okay, it gives you the freedom to really bring out who you are as a person and your character of what you really value. And I hope that our community knows that, Heather and I are very involved in the community, very involved in different charities, and want to continue to be and help our city any way we possibly can, and help our university any way we possibly can, and do things the right way. And I know that some people will look at that as football coaches, and everybody's going to have their opinions of that. But when I was a little kid, I mean, you have a lot of dreams of being a professional, whatever. And as a football coach, it's incredibly humbling to know what you make. But there's also to one who's given a lot, much is expected, and I'm never going to shy away from that. And I know my responsibility to our state and our city and our university. And I take that very seriously, and we'll continue to do all we can as a family to continue to make our area a way better place to be.
PJ, what was the timing of this extension? How long had it been in the works? When did it come to agreement?
I would say, a few weeks. As you kind of go back, we had some initial conversations pretty early, but it wasn't anything that was, we were ready to be able to do anything, right? But I knew that. I wanted to be here, and I think Mark knew I wanted to be here. And then, you just kind of have some casual conversations here and there, and then one thing builds to another, and then you finally get something on paper. And, there's a lot of people who have to approve that and go through the proper channels for that. And then you sooner or later come to an agreement. And here's the thing, there's no right time for this. This is, I want to know that this is very difficult for me, even in the middle of a week. I signed the contract in front of our players today. I figured, well, if I'm going to sign a contract, I might as well show them at practice at the very end. And because I wanted them to understand why I was doing that, because it was about them. It was about bringing their families back one day and having the same culture they played in be here, and bringing their kids back and their families back, and continue to build that alumni base of football players, and connecting right now with our future and the past, and bring it all together with some sustainability. And again, I'm incredibly honored and humbled to have that responsibility. We absolutely love it here, and we're just so excited for this week. And again, everything right after we get done talking, it's 1-0 championship season against Illinois, period. So I did, with everybody saying maybe there's a distraction, there's 15 minutes of a distraction. I'll give you that. But other than that, getting out of my bat suit and going right back in and going back to, going back to work. So.
Had you signed any of the other ones or in front of the players, or is this?
No. It's kind of funny. You want to be able to tell the story one day at some point. Maybe right now is not the time, but no. I even asked Garrett today. I was like, maybe I just signed the last final copy, right, in front of the team, and I was like, I don't know. That just seems maybe a little bit like, look at me, That's what I felt. Like, I don't want to do that. And Garrett's like, listen, and he's usually my mind for a lot of decisions. I throw him by him. He's like, listen, it's about them, right? Make sure they hear it first from you, and it'll be a cool moment. And so we did it, and it was pretty neat.
What was your team's reaction?
Well, it depends. If you really like me, probably you're really excited. If you don't, then you probably weren't very excited. I'm just kidding. No, they were really excited, and then I just told them why we signed it and what we did, and it's about them and thanking them for all that they do, because they provide the opportunity for us to have cultural sustainability, because they're the ones that have to go out there and do it. It's a player's game, and I owe them a lot of things that have happened in my life. I owe to all the players that have played for me, and it goes back to Joe's question. As a little kid, you want to be somebody and do the things that you do, but then you get a chance to be successful. But you're only successful as a head football coach if you got a great staff and you've got really good players. Because I've had the opposite at times, and I'm not so good of a coach. So exactly where and how that has to be built.
Everyone else set with Coach? All right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Row the boat, Sky, Ma, go Gophers. Thanks for your time.
Mark Coyle.